that are given opportunities that, we prayed for.
Yes.
It's really cool. It's really cool. And the fact that I can still be a part of the locker room environment through all of this, I think it's pretty awesome, and I cherish those moments in the locker room with these girls as much as hopefully they cherish them with me. And, they're not going to be lasting too much longer, but I just want to make the most out of it while I can.
Really quick, looking back, on your days of Impact, what are some of the, we have Hard to Kill pay-per-view coming up. You've made your mark last year, as we've already talked about. What are some of the matches that are the matches that you got to go back and just watch, because those are the ones that's like, man, there's just something about that one match, or if you just have a couple on, that you can think of.
No, I struggle to watch my matches back because I'm a perfectionist and I hate everything that I do, and I just sit there and just nitpick myself apart.
Well, not just your matches, but other people's matches also.
Oh, well, as far as for my matches, I was gonna say, I still can go back and watch that Clockwork Orange House of Fun match that I did against Jeff Jarrett and the early days TNA. Because that was something that women just weren't doing at the time. Right. And I was the first and only woman to do it for almost a decade. There was, so I watched that match back. I watched that match back with Deanna from Hard to Kill, the Texas Death Match. That was pretty awesome. Honestly, every time I've been in there with Deanna, it's been awesome. She might be one of the greatest opponents I've ever been in there with, as far as tit for tat, that balance of two different styles of two different generations kind of really going at it. Obviously the WrestleMania match against Trish will always stand up there, just because of the butterflies and the emotions I can still feel, and especially specific moments when, that was the first time winning the championship. It was my first WrestleMania, and there's times that I got lost in the match and lost in my emotions and lost in the moment. And I can still do that to this day, and I can still go back to those. The cage match with Lisa, with Tara at the time, when we were the main event of the show in a double segment cage match. And it was probably my first cage match since Women Extreme Wrestling, on the independent, So it was a long time since I had been in a cage, and to do that dive off the top of the cage, which was used forever as clips.
Always, because that was a nice dive.
The Falls Count Anywhere match with Melina, that match was dope, and that was something that they weren't really doing a whole lot of at the time. So for her and I to be able to do a Falls Count Anywhere match, fight throughout the entire arena,
just that roughness of seeing two women, just you never really got to see it, right? And just loved it,
because it was very much going into that diva era too, where they were kind of backing off of the women's wrestling as much. And so she and I were really she was a Hellcat anyway, and I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but we were unforgiving to each other. We would sometimes not even apologize later, because we had such a relationship like that it was just wild. And but she always brought out the best in me. She really did. And my whole feud with Beth Phoenix, I could just sit here and go on. I think what's great is that I every female, especially storyline wise, the Michelle McCool and Layla, Beth, and they all held a special place in my heart, because they were very different human beings, and they were very different performers and athletes. And so the types of matches and the types of things that it brought out of you were always different. So they're each special in their own way, because of you're not going to get that same chemistry with each person. It's always going to be a little bit different.